Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. So very often on this channel, I use a ton of different phrases and people will ask me, what do these phrases mean? So one phrase that I'm always saying repeatedly is learn how to be emotionally and mentally healthy. And people often ask, what does it mean to be emotionally healthy? What does it really mean to be mentally healthy? And so I want to get into what it means because I'm always trying to break things down really, really simply for you guys so you understand. So emotional health is basically your ability to do a few things. Number one, it's the ability to acknowledge thoughts and feelings that we're having and not suppress them. So let's just completely keep it real and be honest with ourselves for a second. There are a lot of people that don't have an ability to feel. Anytime a feeling comes up, they suppress it. And perhaps you're the same as well. Maybe there are certain feelings that you don't want to acknowledge in life because they seem too painful, or we kind of live sometimes with a mentality of like, why even go there? I can't even change it. So it's that kind of tough love, keep pushing, push it under the rug. It is what it is type of way of thinking, which creates not the best emotional health. So emotional health is the ability to feel everything that we need to feel and experience in this life. It is also the process of being able to control those emotions. So we understand if we look at a child, for example, they probably don't have the best emotional health because they're very emotional. So they're very sensitive. So they can react very abruptly when either they don't get their way or something doesn't pan out the way they wanted it to. Someone says something that really hurts their feelings. They're just emotional creatures. And so they'll express themselves very easily, but they often don't have that logical, that mental ability to process what it is that they're going through. So having more emotional control over something that you're feeling is essential as you become an adult, right? Otherwise, you're just living in that childlike mind as an adult. And again, let's keep it real. There are adults that are living in a childlike state. They still throw tantrums. They still emotionally react. They still, pout or become a little too sensitive when they don't get their way, and they become reactive to life, right? And so the ability to be emotionally healthy means that not only can I acknowledge what it is that I'm feeling, I can process what I'm feeling, and I have control in those states. Now, we're human beings, so are we going to be reactive at times? Of course. We have egos, we get wounded, we don't like not getting our own ways. We're human. But practicing these things will ensure good emotional health. Good mental health is really, what do you do with those feelings? So these thoughts that I'm having, these feelings that I'm having, okay, Steph, I'm going to experience them. I'm going to feel them, because when we talk about self-parenting on this channel, we're always talking about validation. Validation is absolutely huge, not only for you to be able to give other people validation, it will 100% help you in any relationship that you ever have, romantic, friendship, it doesn't matter. Being able to sit in a space for someone else and let them feel what they need to feel, regardless of you agreeing. The only way you can do that for someone else is if you first know how to do it for yourself. So validation is absolutely key. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you for thinking or feeling what you're feeling, but we want to always go deeper and try to find out, well, why do we feel that way? Why am I feeling sad? Why am I feeling stressed? And start uncovering those stories that are causing us to feel the way that we do. So the good mental health is the ability to unravel those stories, and then what do we do with those stories? So good mental health is being able to process what it is we're feeling and not stay stuck. Your ability to cope with life, with things that you're thinking, things that you're feeling, situations that you're in, hard times that you're going through, it's that coping skill that's really, really necessary. And the only way to really cope with uncertainty, to be able to have a good relationship with yourself, to have trust within yourself, to have good relationships with others, to be able to learn, to be able to grow, to be able to validate. There is an aspect of mental health that needs to take place, and really that is your ability to see something logically and get yourself through it and move yourself through it in a healthy way. And oftentimes when I say move through something in a healthy way, it's really just for all you type A, analytical, give me every single step. This is what it's going to look like. It's going to look like acknowledging. It's going to look like feeling, which is these are the emotional sides of having good emotional health. But then it's going to be about really uncovering the stories that are making me feel this way. And I think that that's something that's so important. I know I just touched on it, but I want to emphasize what this really means, because everything you feel is based on a story. You being able to understand not only what that story is, but why that story is coming up. Is that story true? All of those things, that's logical thinking. That's critical thinking. That's mental health right there. So we're not creating these stories and feeling these feelings that I don't want to say that don't make sense, but that we're not able to kind of process this and really remove all the clutter and detach a little bit. That whole process is that mental health. Of course, when we're also thinking about mental health, there are a multitude of other things that we're always thinking about. We're thinking about our self-esteem, we're thinking about our self-worth, we're thinking about our confidence level, our ability to set goals, like all of those kind of things. But when I say emotionally and mentally healthy, of course it incorporates all of those things, but really when I always use that phrase, those are the two things that I'm talking about, because those two things have to work together. You can process you can acknowledge feelings and thoughts and things like that and be able to start saying, okay, Steph, I'm going to really start feeling everything. But then you have to be able to take the next step forward. And that next step forward is no longer emotional. It has to be a mental and logical thing that comes in that can move you through what it is that you're going through. And when I talk about emotional and mental health, when I talk about self-parenting, self-love, whatever word you want to call it, being your own coach, being your own therapist, being your own best friend, it is your ability to be and be able to take care of yourself in every realm, right? We're not just talking about validation and processing our feelings. We're talking about you really are your own best friend. You are with yourself 24 hours a day. This is it, right? This is the most important relationship you'll ever have. And so learning how to deal with life and have good relationships and not be reactive and set goals and feel what it is that I need to feel and not stay stuck in a place and be able to detach a little bit and really parent myself and motivate myself. All of that stuff, of course, is mental health. And that's what we're teaching on this channel. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a good understanding now of what I mean by good emotional and mental health. If you want, I actually offer a free guide to self-parenting on my website. You can go check it out. It is the step-by-step process for all you analytical, type A personalities. I'm one. So you can go check that out. It's free for you guys. And if you're interested in any coaching options or any of my courses, I always link everything down below, and I'll see you next week.